Hi Baby Lockers. Today I'm going to show you the new Triumph. There she is in all her glory. And here's the Ovation. And I thought I'd point out some of the features that I found that they updated on the Triumph that were really smart. Some of them are ergonomic and some of them just help with your sewing. So I'm going to start by pointing out a couple things that have been real big improvements. So the first thing I'll notice is the lighting. The lighting on the Triumph is brighter and it's more forward. You can see here that this lighting, it's all LED lighting, and this is much more forward as well as this, and brighter than the Ovation. Here's the Ovation. You can't even see the light here. It's further back. I do have a light above each of these, but it's much brighter. There's also more headspace, if you will, between the deck and the light than there is in the Ovation. So if you're doing cover stitch or you're just putting your hand in here to guide it, I feel like you have a little more space without hitting anything. And then I guess one of the big features is the fact that the presser foot knob is right here. So you put that down here as opposed to the Ovation where it's in the front. And that's really nice because it's still in the front, but it's not in the way. It just gives you a little bit more room to manipulate fabric or not bang into anything. And yes, really super feature is, I'm going to press the pedal here, it will not sew with the foot up. So no more mistakes the first ½ inch or an inch of sewing where you realize everything's tangled and not sitting right and it's not a good stitch because the presser foot was up. So you put that down and you can begin to stitch beautifully. This is a 4 thread overlock. Here I have a sample of a stitch out I just made. And this is 2 layers of athletic brushed poly, beautiful fabric, and it made a beautiful stitch. I also found that it's a little bit quieter, just a little bit quieter when you're stitching, which is really nice. Another feature while we're on this area is, can you see how much more room there is under this foot? There's more light. I'll come from the side. More height to get your fabric in much easier, and also to get the foot on and off much easier. There's that little knob. Here we go. That comes in and out so much easier. Here's the Ovation. Let me put that up. Not nearly the amount of light or space. And when I take the foot off, I actually have to lift my, I'm sorry about that. I'll have to lift my presser foot a little higher to actually get that off. So that's a really nice feature too. I was happy to find that. Okay, next, since we'll move over to here. Here is your chain looper guide. This has now come out away from the machine. I'll come over to the Ovation. Where the Ovations is set up this way, where it's parallel to the machine, so it's a little less convenient and easy to get that on. So if we come over here, it's sticking out. There's also a little bend in here. It will thread from the front to the back, come around this, and then right in here. That's really nice. Here's your adjustment over here for your chain looper. And this has numbers, which I find much more convenient, because when you get the number that works for the fabric and stitch that you're using for your cover stitch, you'll be able to write that down. If you come back over to the Ovation, it's a dial with just ticks on it for chain and cover stitch, and so you'd have to count those ticks and remind yourself where you were with that. And then getting this in here is just a little less convenient and easy. So that's actually a really good change also. I felt like they really listened to their customers with that. Okay, let's see what else we have. If we come over here, let's go over to the opposite side. And we have a change here in the dial. That's very good too. Here, we have your tensions for your cover stitch threads. And this is the dial for that. These are now numbered. Are they numbered? Oh, okay, that's the same thing. Sorry about that, needle tension. That remained the same. What's different is this is your presser foot pressure dial. As you can see, that's now coming out from the machine, making it much easier to grab and adjust. On the Ovation, it's a recessed dial, so you have to actually get your fingers in there And I feel like if you have any arthritis or any kind of tension or motor problems or whatever with your fingers, this is a little less easy. Takes a little more strength to manipulate that. So that was also a nice change. In the front, you'll notice your air threading knobs for your needles. So let's do that. Let's open this up and I'll just show you how that works. So over here is the knobs. So say you are wanting to air thread those two, the overlock needles. You would push this down, and in order to get that into place, you'll just turn your knob till the needles are in, I just touched it a tiny bit, till the needles were in the right position. And then that is all set up. And then what you would do is you would take your threads and you put them right up against the eye of the needle, push the button, and done, it's threaded. You can do that with all of your needles, all 5 of your needles. There's also another nifty tool. I'm going to get that here. That makes it even easier. It's the needle threading guide, the Revolution Air needle threading guide. Let me open that up. Sorry, I should have had that out. This is really helpful if your eyes just weren't like they used to be, like me or many of us. This will help you even get closer if you can't see the eye of the needle very well. This snaps right on.